Happy birthday to me, I was born in a tree. What a day for a birthday, won't someone kill me? Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome to the Silent Hill 2 commentary. By far my favourite video game of all time, right alongside Sonic Adventure 2, linked together in arms, buddy, and well, yeah, I'm excited for this commentary. At time of recording, it is my, birthday, which is why I'm doing it now. Because, yay. Obviously, it won't be posted at that point. In fact, at time of recording, the Silent Hill 4 video should be going up this afternoon, so, yeah, that's what you're gonna be seeing on my birthday. Not that you'll probably know, unless I tell you, but, whatever. Anyway, the point is, Silent Hill 2. It's, an amazing game, one of my favorites, and I'm excited. And again, what better way to start off a Silent Hill game than with this beautiful CG FMV intro with a bunch of locales and places that we never actually get to visit in-game, showing us bits and pieces of the characters' lives, and this stuff basically showing how they led up to this. Silent Hill 1 had a similar thing to this, like with parts of Dahlia's house that we didn't get to explore, and that weird marble church thing. Yeah, the only thing Silent Hill 2 really has is James going to Mary's room. I guess what is meant to be like the underground of a hospital, or a metaphor for James's prison, whatever. That's kind of delving into spoiler territory, because in the meantime, we're just meant to be admiring the CG. But anyway, this is pretty much going to be the Halloween duality thing that we usually have around this time of the year. It's going to be running in tandem with Resident Evil Code Veronica, mainly because, well, Silent Hill 2 is one of my favourite games of all time, and Resident Evil Code Veronica I am fairly well experienced with, and is also my favourite Resident Evil game, so yeah, they'll pretty much be running in tandem. I am also going to be getting the rest of Kingdom Hearts out of the way, and to kind of spare your fears right now if you're not really a horror person, don't worry, these won't be anywhere near as long as Kingdom Hearts, so yeah, in terms of parts, these should be a lot more manageable. I mean, there's nowhere near RPG lengths, but whatever. And anyway, this is the theme of Laura, which is kind of funny because this doesn't actually play for the titular character, instead it's just sort of the main theme for the game, really. And a very beautifully composed one. It's, honestly, one of Akira Yamaoka's best work in my eyes. I mean, then again, the dude has composed so much of the Silent Hill series, and has a lot of tracks that I prefer, but honest to god, man, the dude really knows his stuff. So, give him your props, and your money, and your flesh lips. It's not your butt cracks, because Eddie's butt crack is stanky. But yeah, this is just gonna be fun. I'm excited as hell. And of course, we have our titular characters here, James and Mariachi.
See? I'm real.
Oh, that's exactly what somebody who isn't real would say. But yeah, to differentiate from the review, I'm actually going to be playing the PC version, Silent Hill 2 the Director's Cut, for a few reasons that I actually regret not mentioning in the review when I did, so maybe a remaster / extended cut is in order, but yeah, this is pretty much here so I can show off the PC version, and also, well, show off the Born from a Wish side scenario later down the line. So yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I'm showing those off. I mean, it's not just like a PC port for the sake of itself with slightly better graphics or whatever. There are actually a few mechanical differences and things worth pointing out in, well, both of these versions. But in the meantime, we have context and the epic story, which is kind of an exaggeration, but not really, since Silent Hill 2 was very reputed for its plot. And as you can see here, we have one Mr. James Sunderland Esquire. He's a store clerk. He wears, like, this army surplus jacket that actually looks kinda cool. And basically, he lost his wife, he lost his sanity and his marbles, and now he's come to Silent Hill to see if his Mary could really be in this town, in by far one of the most disgusting, grimiest bathrooms I've ever been in. And I mean, I can attest to that. I mean, I remember going into a bathroom once, seeing shit all over the walls, and, well, slices of pizza going down the halls. Jesus Christ, never go into some boys' footy toilets. They are the stuff of nightmares. Even Silent Hill pales by comparison. But in the meantime, we got a bit of an expositional dump to get you up to speed, so I'm gonna stay silent while you look at this very obvious wallpaper that's a realistic photo just disguised by fog. Enjoy, kids.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
I mean, I'm sure it's probably just the PC version, but, like, I mean, I was actually surfing the web today and actually saw, like, an Unreal 4 engine recreation of this little area right here, and honestly, God, amazes me how well Silent Hill 2's visuals have aged. Like, I mean, even avoiding the fact that it was made in 2001. I don't know, there's just such a level of detail here that just... Again, it's immaculate. Like, I mean, the details on the road, the trees, the character models. I mean, even the fact that the background of Toluca Lake is obviously... fuck, what was it called again? Let's just say wallpaper for the lack of a better place. I want to say skybox, but that's not quite accurate either, but... I don't know. It's a very beautiful looking game, and like, I mean, even though... Obviously it has had a few crow's feet immersion years since, this game looks fucking gorgeous, man, and... Oh boy, the atmosphere really lays itself on thick and fast as you go on a jaunty forest walk. And, yeah, this... Actually, I would say here that, like, the way in which the game introduces Silent Hill to you, the way you just sort of go on this forest trail and make your way into town, is simultaneously quite haunting, but also very beautiful. And it's also going to say something as well, because Silent Hill 2, again, while I do love this game to death, and while it is definitely living up to its name with its horror chops and everything, I would honestly consider it to be the least scariest of the Team Silent games, really. Like, I mean, there's a major focus on depression and melancholy, so... I mean, when it comes to flat-out scares, there's only really a few that I think would really get people, or at the very least if you're experienced with horror. I mean, I remember one playthrough specifically, I think it was years ago now, by Vengeful KBM. Oh boy, people be screaming like a bitch. But in the meantime, we still have more treasured memories as we look through the fog. And I'm getting goosebumps, because this is bringing me right back to the time I first played the game. Nostalgia be hitting me like a truck, but, goddamn, that's just the power of this game, man. It's got atmosphere up the buttocks.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry. I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but...
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. And it's not just the fog, either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for someone.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
Incredibly well written and well performed, actually, as well. Both guys, Sihi and, I think it was Donna Burke, actually. Yeah,
Aren't you looking
excellent
for someone?
performers. Like, they really nail down those, like, awkward passes at each other for people that you barely know, and again, as you really begin to dig deeper into these characters, it becomes, so much more. But again, I mean, if there is anything Silent Hill 2 is good at, it is slowly unraveling the layers, which is, also part of why I'm a little bit hesitant with this commentary as well, because, like, I mean, I've seen so many playthroughs of Silent Hill 2 and, you know, where people talk about the story and everything, and they kind of end up talking about it in the same sense that, you know, they either end up spoiling things or heavy-handedly foreshadowing specific things, which I think, again, I'm guilty of as well, because, I mean, I remember all the way back to the Silent Hill 3 commentary, I did that a fair bit during the story, at least up to a certain point, but I don't know. I'm pretty much just gonna take it chill, keep it sleazy and nice and easy with Silent Hill 2, and basically let events play as they come, and just bring up bits of interesting trivia along the way. And it's around here where the craving sets in. And this is what I mean by Silent Hill 2 having a bit more of a haunting jaunt through to, well, the town itself. I mean, in Silent Hill 1, you were pretty much crash-landed right in there, you had a transition to the other world, but again, Silent Hill 2 plays it a little bit more mysteriously. Especially with the haunting course that Akira Yamaoka's playing right there. I also believe on beginner mode, actually, or beginner or easy, actually, that you end up getting the chainsaw, which you can also end up getting on the New Game Plus, so yeah, whoopee. You actually have a weapon before you get the one you're supposed to be getting. I don't know. I mean, it is also important to note that in terms of Team Silent chronology, while Naoko Sato and Keiichiro Toyama were gone at this point, a lot of the original alumni plus 30 new developers were also working on the game, so in terms of structure and the way in which Silent Hill 2 builds upon, you know, the base set on by the original game, again, it's very familiar, but again, it feels like they're a lot more experienced, a lot more confident, and it really does show in the game's design, because I don't know, Silent Hill, like, I mean, Silent Hill 1 was a very immaculately designed game, but again, the way in which Silent Hill 2 is able to prod and push the player towards where they need to go while keeping the town fairly open is utterly fantastic. I mean, you're not really seeing it right now because we're pretty much just going on the straight and narrow towards, well, basically wherever we need to go, but in the coming parts, you will begin to see this game's open nature really blossom like a butterfly, which is basically an attractive-looking moth. And that's all I have to say about that. Get it? Because there was a butterfly and a moth in Silent Hill 1. But surely nothing like that will ever show up in Silent Hill 2. Coincidence or something more? I deduce, dear boy. But yeah, it's also to, I guess, to cover basic mechanics again, pretty much the same thing as Silent Hill 1 really, except a little bit more refined. I mean, I did actually find that it wasn't quite as fine-tuned as Silent Hill 3, since James does have a little bit of a sluggish turning radius. Not quite to the same degree as Harry, but, you know, somewhere in between, which is apropos, I guess, for being the middle child of the Team Silent era. Again, much in the same vein as Harry Mason as well, James does have a sort of stamina kind of meter. Like, I mean, he'll run pretty quickly, then otherwise he'll eventually tire and slow down. I think his, breath radius is actually a little bit more weaker than Harry here. I don't know whether that's just the power of the PlayStation 2 or an intentional design philosophy, but yeah, basically, besides running like he has a fucking rocket up his ass, James will pretty much tire out pretty easily. And again, like, you do really notice the differences in speed when you stop, start, and, you know, when you've been running for a while. But at the same time, like, James isn't so sluggish when he gets tired that, you know, it becomes unplayable. It's just something you notice when you know, get your hands on the controller and, what is this? Is the blood? Or somebody has spelled the ketchup? And there is a mysterious figure walking in the darkness, or the fog. I've no idea what I'm doing a French accent, but, yeah, it's Pretty much James being a suicidal lemming and deciding, yuck, you know what, I might as well find Mary. I mean, honestly though, I am legitimately curious as to why he doesn't just go on his merry way. Well, obviously I do know the reason why, but at the same time, actually, you know what, after having recently reviewed Silent Hill 4 and considering where his family comes from, like Mr. Frank Sunderland, I keep an umbilical cord in my box, yeah, I'm not so surprised anymore, especially considering what James does later in the game. But I mean, even at this point, before you discover the blood marks, you are free to explore a little bit of the town to gather supplies and, you know, just get a general lay of the land, find out where you can and where you can't go. And again, I recommend you do so, because, Silent Hill 2, while I wouldn't say it's the most difficult game, at least on normal mode, it is a game that can, on the odd occasion, sneak up on you and have a few surprises to kick your ass, so... Again, basically, just keep it freaky, stay sleazy, and, well... just make sure you got your supplies ready. But I mean, by the time you encounter this mysterious shadow, you'll pretty much be all ready to take things on and, well, take on the town at your leisure, really. And I like the fact that this mysterious creature is currently busy eating its dinner in a very familiar-looking corpse, while James just plays with the radio and it pays it absolutely no mind. I mean, I would have thought this thing would have preferred a live meal to a dead one, but hey, I guess maybe that's why it finally turns its attention towards lovable Sunderland here, rather than, well, corpsey McHarry Mason reuse model-y thing. Because that's what they reused for Silent Hill 3, and also Silent Hill 4, as I pointed out in the review. See, it's all intentional here. That's the Solidus-Skully.com HQ / whatever. Anyway, this is the lying figure. It spews out acid, and does pretty much fuck all, really. This one won't actually crawl away and you don't need to do the good old Silent Hill stomp, but yeah, the other ones that you'll have to combat will, because it's Silent Hill tradition after all. But in any case, that'll about do it for part 1 of the Silent Hill 2 commentary, so I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time we are pretty much gonna be having a night on the town! Oh yeah! Catch you later, dudes.
Oh yeah. This thing broken? What the? I better take it anyway. I might need it.